Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall is 10:15 on whatever night of the week it is. Back with a plethora of stuff for tomorrow. Mild enough day today. The weather was mild. My tummy wasn't mild though. Every day's a school day with me, as people know, and a learning lesson was learned last night again, or to learn this morning, but something that took place last night. There was fresh grapes in the house, so I started eating them last night, and I continued to eat them, and they were grand. But it wasn't so grand this morning when I woke with cramps in my stomach about 6:30. And to put it bluntly, it's a good job there was a toilet handy on the bus, that I hadn't to go looking for one for a few hours. So, lesson learned. Didn't venture too far away today from the house. Stayed local, just in case. But all's well that ends well. There was a question I meant to ask some of the women on the bus. When you go into a hotel getting your breakfast anymore, there's no loose sugar, and there's all the rock sugar, the squares of sugar. So if somebody wants a spoon of sugar or 2 spoons of sugar, how many rocks do you take? Some people wanted, I was talking to a person today, they were saying they were looking for a spoon and a half of sugar, and they didn't know what to take. They were asking me, this is, you're a man that travels a lot during the year. And I said, I always ask for loose sugar because I'd be only guessing. Because if you put in too much, there's nothing worse than having too sweet of tea. Coffee isn't too bad, I suppose. But questions or answers on a postcard, please. Anyway, I'm babbling on a bit. Took a few pound off them today. 5 bets, 4 wins. Nearly had the full hand with the 4 fingers. We hadn't the thumb, I suppose. First off was the nap, the one I was strong on, Sky Cutter. Done what I thought Parry might do. The only thing I was afraid of was, remember a couple of years ago, was the David Bass that was on hurler on the ditch. He was a full fence ahead coming to the second last, and he ploughed through it. That was the only thing that I was afraid of today. They were going so well. Neat and tidy jumping, doesn't get too big, and got the job done. The one that was in second closed all right, but it came from the back. But it's a good performance. Then we had the listed race. All the money was for You Wear It Well. Remember, we won on that before, the race before it won in Cheltenham. And we didn't back it in Cheltenham the time in the novices hurl. Mayor's novices hurl when it won. Sherry Dam. So it was all Sherry Baby. That'll be the song on the bus tonight. Who recorded that? I can't remember. That was 13-2. It was backed in before the off to 9-2. To the 100 to 30, 7-2 without the favourite. I did say last night that he'd probably go out in front as well and put it up to the Fav to see was there any chinks in the armour with making a mistake. And it sort of made a mistake after 2 or 3, but it wasn't up at the pace like the last day in Bangor. So you wonder what was the tactics with that today, but it suited us down to the ground. So we had the win and the recommended without the Fav as well. And then we had Don't Tell Sue. Yeah, ran well. That's what I do when I'm doing bets. If I fancy want to take on the Fav that there's a doubt, do the reverse forecast enter. The reverse forecast paid 462. So you'd still make money on the race even though you hadn't the winner. And it's all about making a few quid, because when you're winning a few quid, you're not losing a few quid. Shout out to Godump and Matthew Laver, Tom Spence, and the Review Guru. And there's another one there. I can't read my own writing. The Champer Dumo or something. I'll get it again. He knows who he is. You're all very welcome. Oh, better get out of the way. Plethora of stuff to go through tomorrow. Start off at the 240 in Bangor. The last time we were in Bangor, we had a winner. She could be anything. The ground is soft, heavy in places. The two at the top of the market, that Pleasure to Flow, it's carrying 12 stone 2, is it? But 12 stone and £3 off. That ran well in Cheltenham the last time. And I thought if the ground was good ground, I would be on. Thanks for the help. That ran fourth in Cheltenham. It's straight, but needs. I'm not sure about it going on the ground, because if you remember when it strayed up in Chepstow, last campaign, 25th of February, then it went off 100 to 30 favourite for the Pts. But that was soft ground that day. And when it ran on, it won again then on good to soft. It's 2 runs this year, but that run that it was the last year, it was behind Doyen Quest. It ran a very good race, but that was on good ground. So I'm thinking that it doesn't go on the ground, even though it's out of Mertline. But I thought there was an each way bet in the race was Strackan. This went out in front the last day. And it picked out as a 6-1 shot there to go each way. It's handbrake was off 4 times there. It ran in novice hurdles to get a rating of 103. It went out in front in Utoxeter on soft ground the last day. It was second to Double Powerful before that on soft ground. I thought that might be an each way bet in the race. Just check the prices. 5-1. On to Cheltenham. 4-horse race in the first race. That's nice. Is a 10 to 11 favourite. It was 4-5 earlier. Wingmen Bus Horse opened up 11-4. This one for us at, what was it, 18-1, wasn't it? In Punchestown. I didn't tip it the last year. I mentioned it because it went off 1-2. Jumped very poor. They want to brush up radically on its jumping. That 40 coats has ran since until second to St. James's Gate. St. James's Gate used to be a soccer club in Dublin. But there was another decent horse, Joystick, behind. And that horse there ran a good race. We'll want to keep an eye on it, McLaury. It went out in front. It has a good engine. That's the
no changes there as they jumped the second last flight, and it's Wingmen from 40 Coats who's trying to close on the leader, the long-time leader, followed by Syracuse Ew, who's won back to third from Duke of Lega, and then Lygon Lad Drive on Whale. After them on the inside, Hearts and Spades. But it's Wingmen still keeping at bay 40 Coats with 1 flight left to jump in the Kilbury Pub and Kitchen Maiden Hurdle, and it's Wingmen over the last from 40 Coats. Up the hill they come inside the final 200 yards. It is Wingmen from 40 Coats who's still trying hard with less than 100 yards to go. It is Wingmen seeing off 40 Coats. They started.
It was a fair old engine. It'll be out in front tomorrow. It's a decent race. He had a few entries in the race, Gordon Elliott. He picks that one. Good Horses has won this race before. So if it won tomorrow, we could be dreaming of March. Dice Sardinas won it last year. That's all right, Gino. Chantry House, Elixir to Nuts. Ping Shoe. Ballyalton, decent horses. So hopefully it can get off to a good start for the bus tomorrow. He needs to brush up on his jumping big time. Caldwell Potter back quick after making his first run since it was bought for an arm and a leg. About 12 days. You'd imagine that it's rated 151. The ratings with the 146 for Django By, the £5 they're coming out equal. That should have the ability, you'd imagine, to get the job done. It's gone odds against now in places. Oh yeah, it was with William Hill. Odds against. If you get odds against, back it. The 115 is a handicap hurdle. There's a horse here that we backed the last day. Didn't stay. Well, it got outstayed big time by a decent horse, Valgrand. That'll be out and running tomorrow. Wilmot hasn't ran since the Shallow, isn't it? Pulled up behind Captain Teague. Skeletons are on fire. He will be out in front. Potter's Charm, wasn't it? Yes. So there was mention of it, keeping it for the county hurdle. They have it out. They can still go for the county hurdle. They only go up £5 or £6 if it wins tomorrow. That'll be the selection there. On to the 150. On the betting, this is a 2-horse race between Chianti Classico and King Turgeon. I think Chianti Classico will get the job done. He opened up there 2-1 a while ago. It's running off 157, but there's excuses for a lot of them there. Like the likes of Chambard needs heavy ground. Our Power needs the run. Ballygriffin Cottage fell the last time. King Turgeon would be the danger, won the Grand Sefton. Java Pint, 9-year-old, the newest one, a 9-year-old, 6-year-old from France. It's nearly 3 stone out of the handicap. So Chianti Classic out in front. Now, somebody mentioned to me the other day that this is going for the Grand National. But if this wins tomorrow and won impressively, it could go up £5 or £6 to bring it into the 160s. This would be, I wouldn't discount this from running in the Gold Cup in March, because when you look at it, it's a good handicapper on the move. Can be. Remember Dinman winning the Hennessy? He gave 2 stone to the third and 1.5 stone to the second that time. I'm not saying this, but he'd be out in front. Let him at it. Hoping he can do the business tomorrow. Onto the 225. It's the Veterans Chase. I don't know what to back in this. We were on what were we on the last? Eldorado Allen and Turnham Friday beat it. Eldorado Allen probably could run well enough tomorrow because it might have needed the run the last day. Shake him up, Harry hasn't ran in a while. Will this be the aim to get him fully fit tomorrow? Is the question. I might give Raffle Ticket as a shot as well. I'll give it a skip. Onto the 3 o'clock, the Glen Farkless cross country handicap chase. There's a French horse in this favourite. It's a good bit out of the weights. Stumptown, I was impressed with the last day in Punchestown. I was out to win that day because they were trying to sell it, but I seen it's the same owner, so whether they changed their mind or whether they didn't get enough for it, it's still in the same colours anyway. Only a 7-year-old was second in the Kim Muir before. You'd imagine it should be hard bet, but a horse, if that's going to be right there, a horse that was second to it in and he's I think £10 better off is 3x2. And they won't mind running well tomorrow because they'll be trying to get into the race in Cheltenham. It was 33-1 when there's only 2 3/4 lengths behind in Punchestown. Carrying 11-2 that day. Look at the difference in the numbers. 95 to 149. But it's gone up now to 127. So instead of carrying £12 between them, there is £12. That's what it's carrying. 11.4. 10.2. It's £6 wrong as well. So it's £4 better off. So that might be a lively outsider with Sammy Twist in the bike. There's one left, isn't there? The Fav should win this. Doyen Quest. Very impressive the last. He kept out the back at the television. Finished on the armchair in front of the television. 11-8. Skeletons to the 4. Should get the job done. There's a few of them there. You could do trixies, trebles, cross doubles, cross trebles. We might do something like that. I might write them up. If I don't get time tonight, I'll do it in the morning. There's a couple of more. The handicap hurdle in Cork. Bit of a gamble on a horse here. First time in a handicap for the Fav. Question marks about a few of them. The Philip Rothwell trained Tyrone Power Roach. This lad, the handbrake was on Mega. 66 to 1, 300 to 1, 200 to 1, 125 to 1. Bet 54 and 93 lengths, didn't complete the course the other twice. Got a rating of 87 to off 80 to 1. The last time went off 40 to 1. Went out in front. Ran a good race. Drifted like a bird that day. Went out in front and 'twas beaten not much, but the horse that just got up to beat it on the line was another one from the same stable, and that is won by 7.5
Passing the
cents.
two, they're heading for the second last.
This is him
Wardens
here.
Whisper and Mahler's Cove. Over as one, followed by Irish Impulse, Meydan, Scepterdile, now being shaken up. Then Duffy's Hurry Gone Did of My Good Pal and Toontown down to the
This
come
is the
to
other
final
one here.
flight. And Irish Impulse is challenging. Wardens Whisper, Meydan, Duffy's Hurry and Mahler's Cove. Can't give any more than Scepterdile, and it's Irish Impulse and Ryan Tracy gone on from Wardens Whisper, and then Meydan and Duffy's Hurry, but driven out by Ryan Tracy. It's Irish Impulse who's going to add to his last time win over fences, judged for the second and third. Duffy's Hurry and Warden's Whisper.
The one that was second came out and won again by 107 or something. Duffy's Hoodie. Won by 7.5. And up £3 for that run. That Philip Rothwell, in form this year. He's having a good enough season. One time he don't even win on Ballinrobe. He's having them all over now. Front running track there in Cork. If he gets out in front again, he could be hard pegged back. Paying 5 places. He was 10s there a while ago, so there's money for him. In Dundalk on a Friday. There's a maiden there tomorrow. There's a horse I was keeping an eye on. It's not a great maiden, this. There's a couple of 67 races, and there's a 72, isn't there, in it? Johnny Murtagh's Lady Pegasa. But there's a horse there, Joe Murphy's. It's a long spin from Cork. Triangle Door. And this went into my notebook when it ran in Killarney. Third to Shavassi, and that won a couple of races after that for Joseph O'Brien. And Shane Foley, they went off 9 to 1 there, but there were grounds against him that day in Roscommon. But it's interesting they were campaigning him again before the Christmas. He's 14 to 1, 16 to 1 in that bracket. For Google lovers, it might be worth a small few pound maybe each way. 16 to 1, 14s. I had a horse when I was looking for the entries the other day in Meydan tomorrow. the Garden Stakes is on. The Crisfords has a horse that used to run in America, United States. Strobe, it's the highest rate in the field. Ran in Kempton the last day in a handicap when it was unable to give a lot of weight away, 1.5 stone, I think it was. But one of the fairgrounds and one in Keeneland, one in Churchill, first time out. In Kempton the last day. Just what? Just trying to give, that's a lot of weight. And it ran well enough up at the pace. Might be worth a few pounds tomorrow. There's a 2 mile or mile 6 race in. How do you see the betting? Is the betting up? Well, the betting is up now, 5-4. The other one is over from America as well, straight and level. That ran on the grass the last time, or the turf, whichever you may prefer. Tomato. That was on the fairgrounds, that was on the grass. But the fact that he ran in Kempton, he's bringing him out there, might be worth a shot tomorrow. But I didn't think he'd be that short. Might try and double him with, I'll have a look. There's where's the go on tomorrow? Southwell, isn't it? This is the one we got. I just clicked on it, the 2 mile race. Remember there was the horse that bet us the last day? Alrazeen. We were on Caustic. Do you remember that race? And this lad beat us. That might be worth a double, a go double. And he ran a bit green too, I thought, the last day. Still learning. We were on Caustic 11-4. This was fourth favourite. Because Simeon was in it as well. And
to see where the others are. He's confident on Alrazeen as they turn for the judge. Alrazeen then going on now by about a half leg. Little Peter's the chaser though in second. The blue colours on the outside. Can Alrazeen hold him off? Alrazeen from Little Peter. These two, Alrazeen still has the lead with half a furlong to go. And he's doing enough here. Alrazeen striding on. He was well back beforehand. He'll win for Gay Kellaway and Luke Morris. Alrazeen beats Little Peter.
Might do a go double. Cheers, I'm a long time on. I'm about to get this into the oven or it'll never be cooked. Bash the bookies over and out.